Hello everyone, I'm Volcano Style. Let's play some more classic Newgrounds. Today I'd like to shift attention away from the more bourgeois style of art on Newgrounds, such as Operation Powerpuff and the Ned series, and focus on one of the biggest travesties and misrepresentations on the portal today. I'm referring to Mario vs Sonic: The Duel, a flash created by Randy Solom of VGDC, Video Game Director's Cuts, best known for his jingoist propaganda film Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario vs Sonic is one of Solom's oldest works, as well as one of his most popular. The Flash, uploaded on August 14th, 2001, currently has over 2.5 million views on Newgrounds alone, and sits at a very solid 4.04 rating, which I find baffling given its utter mangling of the source material and the two characters who, as a child of the 90s, I hold very dear to my heart. First of all, I don't blame Solom for this at all, and I believe that it's entirely possible that it was never his intention to mangle the canon of these two icons so thoroughly in the first place, but he had his hand forced by means that have never come to light, but the clues are there if you look closely. First of all, take a good look at the introductory battlefield, specifically the crowd. Despite the fighting stage being from Sega's masterpiece Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 1991, almost the entire crowd consists of Nintendo characters or Nintendo licensed characters, except for three notable exceptions. Knuckles the Echidna and Dr. Ivo Robotnik, the only two to show up in Sonic's home stage despite being his antagonists at the time, which we can assume since this fight chronologically takes place during the 16-bit era, and almost in the dead center, Mickey Mouse. Mickey isn't even paying attention to the fight, listlessly staring off to the side, possibly at Bowser, as if hinting that he has a stake in the contest. In Western culture, Mickey Mouse is usually used as a representation of capitalism, particularly in the street art of graffiti artist Banksy. Perhaps market pressures are what forced Solom's hand to display this bias. This is, after all, only a number of weeks before the two biggest tragedies of the last decade, the September 11th terrorist attacks and the discontinuation of the Sega Dreamcast. More evidence of this anti-Sonic bias is clear in the fighter trivia screens. Mario's debut and breakthrough are listed, but Sonic's debut and breakthrough, that is, both being the original Sonic the Hedgehog from 1991, are unlisted to avoid showing Sonic in a more favourable light than Mario. Instead, we are told what Sonic almost was, what he could have been. It's a very foreboding start to an important fight. As for the fight itself, we start with the warm-up round. Despite Sonic going for his trump card at the very start. From the very beginning I sensed foul play, as Sonic moved across the screen horizontally far slower than what I expected, despite clearly hearing 3 levels of charge on his spin dash. I took the time to count the number of direct blows each fighter delivers, not including damage taken from terrain. Sonic successfully lands 8 blows, Mario only lands 5. And yet I'm expected to believe that Sonic has need of Tails' direct interference, with an invincibility power-up no less? At the conclusion of the warm-up round, we see Mario drive Sonic through the ground with a dive that clearly takes several seconds to occur, and at this point I was convinced there was some form of foul play afoot. There was no possible way that Sonic, referred to as the fastest thing alive by the introductory theme song of Sonic the Hedgehog the Animated Series, should have been hit by such a slow attack. My eyes peeled. I was going to pay much closer attention to the second of what I assumed would be a 3-round match, but in this regard I was mistaken as well. In effect, Mario has been given a win over Sonic for free, forever tainting any inevitable victory Sonic will, or arguably should, collect. We come to the second fighting stage, in Super Mario World, and at this point I was incensed. There are none of Sonic's many friends in attendance to support him, despite his own home stage being dominated by pro-Mario characters. I was also insulted by the implication that Super Mario World lay below the Green Hill Zone, as if Solom was trying to imply that Sonic the Hedgehog is nothing but a flimsy outer shell, shamelessly losing Super Mario World as a basis. The fight continues, with Sonic having to go as far as to resort to using the homing attack ability that he doesn't even learn until 1998's Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast, suggesting that Solom felt the need to break the chronological canon in regards to Sonic's maturity and combat experience just to be an even match for Mario. When presented the choice for a winner, I felt there was no other option than to choose Sonic. And yet even in these final moments of pathos, I find myself taken aback by what I find. Sonic, much like in the first round with Tails' interference, is forced to rely on external means to defeat Mario, and his ultimate victory comes from Mario's own power source. This is not irony. This is degrading to Sonic as a franchise and as a person. The link to the FAQ for the Flash on the initial load screen still hasn't appeared, despite the Flash having been on the portal for over 10 years now. Perhaps I'm alone in this YouTube, but I find that rather suspicious. Suspicious to the extent that I would dare use the word conspiracy. But I leave that to you to decide.